Thank you.
Thank you. I hope I said that right.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, David Earnhardt, for that kind introduction. I am here today because I once traveled in your shoes. I was once a student just like you, studying in the College of Management. I'm scheduled to speak for 1 hour, but I think I can do it in 30 minutes. We open the floor to questions for 15 minutes. We have 6 points today. I'll split those points in two. We'll talk about the first 3 points, then move on to the second 3 points. Before I launch into today's presentation, I want us to take a time journey. I want us to travel back in time. I want you to take your minds out of this physical space. Let's go into a time machine. The year we're trying to get to is 2008. Our time machine lands in Wall Street, New York, the finance capital of the world. We are all there now. We are all there. At the time, the US is facing its worst financial catastrophe ever. Financial institutions, banks, mortgage companies, insurance companies, real estate companies were imploding. Let us travel 1 year forward to 2009, the year I graduated. In medical terms, the US economy was still recovering from the coma of 2008, but was in life support in 2009. Major corporations did not know what to expect. Companies in the US institute hiring freezes across the board. No firms were hiring, everybody was firing. Skilled professional investment bankers losing their jobs. Skilled lawyers losing their jobs. It was a dire time in the United States economy. Despite the doom and gloom, I got a job. My fellow classmates got jobs. Despite the fact that a dark cloud of uncertainty hung over the College of Management, we were anxious. Would we get jobs? How would we justify sitting all those hours in the classroom learning, getting a degree, and not being able to get a job? We were worried. I still speak to my fellow classmates, and they survived. They got jobs. I got a job. I got a 3.2 GPA. I still got a job. Come on in. Let's just sit here. Right for you. Right up front. With this, let us launch in to the present. Bring your minds back into this physical space. The year now is 2013. The Bureau of Economic Analysis gave out some data that in the previous quarter of 2013, the US GDP grew by 2.5%. United States corporations are sitting on about $1.6 trillion in cash. US is poised to beat Russia in the export of oil and gas. The future is brighter for those graduating in 2013, 2014, 2015. With this, let us launch into our first point. Spin. When I talk about spin, I'm not talking of the clockwise or anti-clockwise rotation of a physical object. I'm not talking of the way you spin around as a salsa dancer in Dancing with the Stars. Not that spin. To better understand spin, let us explore 3 analogies. The first analogy, in the 1980s and 1990s, when major conglomerates were destroying the atmosphere, spewing out chemical gases, dumping toxic waste into the ocean, cutting down the Amazon forest, causing environmental destruction, environmental degradation. Those activities were spoken of today in terms of climate change, global warming. When a corporation is trying to reduce its environmental damage, it speaks in terms of reducing carbon footprint. Second analogy of spin. Within an army, when two soldiers shoot at each other by mistake, accidental fire, is referred to as friendly fire. Sounds nicer. When two countries are at war and one sends a torpedo to the other, causing loss of civilian life, casualties, civilian casualties of war, is referred to as collateral damage in the media. Right now, many of you have part-time jobs. If you are lucky, you have an internship. Some of you, local lifeguard at the swimming pool, local librarian, or you are the receptionist at the local hotel. You hold these part-time jobs while studying. While you study, you are finessing your expertise in your program of study with hope that one day you will take that theory you're learning in class or that practice you're learning in class to get your foot in the door of your first job or your first corporation. Spin empowers you to relabel yourself, to reinvent yourself. Spin gives you a legitimate platform to launch yourself at possible employers. You are that lifeguard studying accounting or management. Spin enables you to refer to yourself as career researcher, job analyst, occupation analyst. You can be creative with it. So imagine two people. Somebody walks up to you, hi, I'm just working at the local restaurant. I'm studying marketing. I'm trying to get a job. Do you have a job? Can you have a meeting? Compare that introduction to someone who comes up to you with his business card printed. John Smith, career researcher, UMass Boston. Hello, my name is John Smith. I am researching jobs in accounting, in finance, in management, in information technology. I would like to meet with you and ask you a couple of questions about your career. What do you do? Spin empowers you. Let's see our next point. Connecting. Networking is great. You go to an event, you meet people, you give them your business cards, you give them your resume, you know them. I am sure connecting, knowing people on a personal level is very powerful. I'll tell you a story. I used to be a personal trainer at the YMCA fitness facility. And I met an array of people. CEOs, vice president, manager, lawyer, doctor, carpenter, painter, vegetarian, cannibal. I met all kinds of people. I met this woman, Jane Stanford. She came in to exercise. I would show her the machines. We became good friends. We exchanged books. I'll tell her about my family. She would talk about her family. She would bring in chocolates because I like chocolate. Then she said, oh boy, what are you doing by the way? I said, yeah, I'm researching a career in finance. She says, oh, why don't you speak to my husband? He will know someone. So I get in touch with the husband. We go bowling, introduces me to his entire family, and he says, oh, I hear you are researching careers in finance. Oh, why don't you speak to my colleague, Don Riley, CFO, Chief Financial Officer. So I got the Chief Financial Officer's email. Immediately, I shot him an email. Dear, hello, Don Riley. Donald Stanford suggests I contact you about a possible internship in finance. I eagerly await your response. Sincerely, Pere Tiemo, telephone number 444-444-444. What do you think I'm going to put? So the CF, the Chief Financial Officer, because these people in C-suite, they have short attention span. You can't be writing long email, no. Just keep it short and sweet. So the Chief Financial Officer looks at my email. He sees, okay, Donald Stanford sent you, the Chief Operating Officer. Okay. He sends my email to a finance director within the division of that corporation. The finance director looks at the email. She sees that the email is coming from the Chief Operating Officer, it's coming from the Chief Financial Officer, and my name is attached. She sends me email directly. Hello, can you send your resume? I did not waste time, I sent her my resume. I boycotted the entire human resources department. She got my resume, we scheduled the interview, we spoke, that's how I got my second internship. Always try to know people on a personal level. The second point on connecting, let me tell you another story. A medical doctor just graduated from medical school. He was rushing for his interview, and he was late. He was driving. He got into the underground garage of the hospital, and he was driving, trying to find a spot. He found a spot, but unfortunately, someone beat him to the spot, and that person parked their car inside. He was very angry. He looked the person eye to eye, facia, and gave him a vulgar sign. Gave her a vulgar sign. You know that sign. Well, that happened. He eventually got a parking spot. He parked his car. Medical doctor, I'm a doctor. Composed himself, went in for the interview. He got into the reception. Receptionist said, "Oh, Dr. Smith, sit down. We will have you soon." He sits down, starts reading the magazine in the reception, and 5 minutes later they say, "Okay, we will take you in the room over there." He walks down a corridor, takes a left turn, opens a room, and it's a hall. Guess who his interviewer was? That lady in the parking lot who he showed the vulgar sign to. Oh. Whatever you do, wherever you are, always treat people like they are VIP. Be nice. You don't know who they know, who knows someone, who will get to your next meeting, who will get to your next interview. Our third point is showing up. Show up. Everybody say show up.
Show up.
Oh my
Show
God.
up.
Louder, louder.
Show up.
Show up.
Yes. You will be surprised how many people show up late for job interviews in this country. You'll be surprised how many people do not show up for job interviews. You'll be surprised how many people show up unprepared for job interviews. Someone once said, I think it's Woody Allen, the famous comedian, he said, 85% of success is showing up. You are a student in a college of management. You represent UMass Boston. You compete with other students from other universities. It is your duty to show up to a job interview 5 or 10 minutes early. If you do not know where the place is the day before or the week before, do a test run. I'll take the bus, take the train, put my bike on a boat, get there, okay, it takes me 20 minutes. Good.
That's right.
Show up looking crispy, clean. I'm not saying go and spend all your money, no. Show up looking crispy, clean from head to toe. Know your target. If it's a publicly traded company, make sure you have read all the public reports. It's free on their website. They will download on your computer. Sometimes if you know the interview is far away, go to their website, order the report, they will mail it to your house, you can read it. If it's a private traded company that does not have public information, at least know the industry. Know the industry trends. Know the history of the industry. This will set you apart from all other people that hiring manager will speak with. So let me just rehydrate. Let me drink some water so that I'm surprised this clicker and everything works. You know, it's Microsoft. Microsoft don't usually. I use Apple. I have like a 10-year-old Apple computer, very old. Actually, it's one of the ones I use in undergraduate. I don't like to buy like new stuff. I took the Apple to the Apple shop, and the lady was like, "We don't repair this. When are you going to upgrade?" I said, "Like, it's still working." She said, "You have to upgrade." She was showing me the iMac, iBook, all these new ones. I said, "Well, it's still working. There's nothing I can do." You know? Our first point of the second section is on reading. Read, read, read some more. If there's one point you remember from today, it's this one. Read. I have a lot of mentors. My father is one of them. He plays a very influential role in my personal and business life. My father never discriminates when it comes to reading or knowledge. He reads everything. International finance, international business, local finance, local business, politics, religion, art, history. I always wondered why. Why so much? Someone from England visits our house and they are able to speak about Sir Winston Churchill, the former British Prime Minister. They will speak about his famous speech he gave in 1940 to the House of Commons during World War II. Someone from northern Nigeria would visit Muslim. They will discuss the Hajj, the religious trip every Muslim must try to make in his lifetime to Mecca. They will discuss Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Ibrahim. They will talk about the religious celebrations of the Muslim, Idil Fitr, Idil Madul, Barka de Salah. Someone from the West, Ghana, Senegal, will visit. And they will discuss the ECOWAS, Economic Community of the West African States, that was formed in 1975 to foster trade and integration between among the states of West Africa. And this one surprised me. Someone from India visited. They were speaking about Mahatma Gandhi, the caste system of India, the Hindu religion, the famous book by Hermann Hesse, Siddhartha. Reading broadens your sphere of thinking. It makes you a good conversationist. When you're in a crowd, when you're with people, because you read something about them, about their history, about their culture, about their heritage, you are able to hold conversation with that person. Whatever you do, try to become a voracious and eclectic reader. The beauty about reading in this country is that you have libraries everywhere. You go there. I went to a library once and she said, "Oh, list all the books you want. We'll send you email when they arrive." I was like, "Huh?" Because I was coming from a country where we don't even have library. So I was amazed. Second point today is charisma. There's a picture on this slide. I will point. I want everyone to say in unison, in one voice. I want you all to yell as loud as you can the person who you think this is. Who is this?
Mother Teresa.
Wow, that's a really smart. I was expecting you guys to scratch. I had 4 pictures here, but because this is Microsoft, I sent it to David. He's using Microsoft. Then he said, "Oh, Pere, by the way, all your slides are blank. There's some formatting issue." Then I was like, "Oh, you're using Microsoft." I had a picture of JFK, Kennedy. I had a picture of Martin Luther King. Then I had a picture up here on a Scooby-Doo. He's a charismatic character. I went into in-depth analysis of charisma 4.5 years ago. I went to the library. I placed a hold on everything they had on charisma. I went there with I would get email, this book has come. I said, Jesus, this is going to be a lot of books. So I went with 2 travel bags, loaded up with books on charisma. I was walking. I said, oh, you are just coming from traveling? Yeah, I just came from the library with the books. I read everything. I noticed 3 traits of charisma and charismatic people. There are a plethora of traits. Many, many, many traits. But these 3 traits stood out. Charismatic people are confident. When I mean confident, they are comfortable in their own skins. They do not act like they are better than everyone else. They do not act pompous or arrogant. They are actually, come in, are you coming in? They are actually, she's very shy. They are egalitarians. They treat everyone as equals. Irrespective of the environment they are in, irrespective of whichever problems they may have, they are always comfortable in their own skins. Second trait I notice of charismatic people, they are optimistic. They live in a realm of positive possibilities. They see the glass half full. I was supervising a renovation on a house, and because I like to observe people, learn what they are doing, I walked by a barber shop the other day, and I asked him, how is this business work? What happened? He told me, oh, you rent a chair, you pay somebody. He told me the business model of a barber shop. I was like, that's fascinating. So on this day, it was sunny. Outside was nice, just like today. The birds were chirping, the bees were buzzing, the butterflies were busy pollinating. So I walked down to supervise what they were doing in the basement. I looked, the plumbing and heating specialists were installing a water heater, heating system. I said, wow. So I was asking him, how is this operated? He said, this is how we pipe it like this, like that. The electrician was busy in the corner fixing electrical box with lots of wires. So I stopped him. I said, hi, hello. Immediately I said hello. It was like I took some quarters, some money out of my pocket and put into a machine, and he just started. Well, you know, I drove over a raccoon, and the raccoon died, and my tire flew out, and a tree fell on my car and cut my car into 2. And you know, I've been smoking, and the doctor said he's going to cut the left side of my lung. He's going to cut off my big toe. Now he cut off my big toe. I got to put a roll of quarters in my big toe so I don't trip over when I walk. He just kept talking, and as he kept talking, I started feeling low. The basement started getting dark and misty. Leaves started dying. Everything on the side, I saw like slime start growing on the walls. I started feeling cold and shivers. I had to like jump up and jump out of the basement because this chap was a dead negative Nancy. It was like a don't laugh. It was like a downer Dave. I know sometimes in your life you have trouble, things go wrong, you made a mistake, you have a problem. We are all human, it happens. Most of the time, try to be optimistic. See the glass half full. Third thing I notice of charismatic people is that they have energy. They are passionate, they are enthusiastic, they live in the moment, they have energy. When you show up to your next meeting, your next interaction with someone, your next job interview, try to bring these 3 traits with you. Try to be confident. Try to be optimistic and have energy. Our final point of today is image control. Someone once said, I believe it's Joseph Heller, the author of Catch-22. Just because you are paranoid doesn't mean they aren't out to get you. I'm not saying when you leave here, start looking at your car. With the advent of the internet, your image is split in two. You have your online image, you have your physical image. Let's look at online image. When somebody Googles your name, what shows up? When someone does an intricate Facebook search of you, what shows up?
Your address.
Your address? Yeah. That's good. Your phone number? Yeah, anyone else have anything?
Facebook.
Your profile?
My profile photos.
Your photos? Your great responses? Yeah. Is there a YouTube video of you with a tube connected to your mouth? That tube is connected to a massive ice sculpture. That sculpture has some shaving. Somebody is on the other side pouring vodka, Dos Equis, margarita. The thing is going through the ice. The ice is going down into the tube, into your mouth. Your bodies are in the background. They are going. Don't laugh. They are there on YouTube. Is there a video of you with no shirt playing beer pong with a funny design on your body? Be paranoid of your image, of your online image. Make sure whatever you do on the internet, whatever you sign up for, whatever pictures you post, whatever you say about somebody, make sure that your professional image comes before your personal image. Let's look at physical image. This one. I will not go to talk about how to combine clothes, what to wear, what not to wear. You can find that information on. You can go to a local clothing store, be nice to the attendant, ask them, I'm going somewhere, how do I combine clothes? What colors do I wear? They will help you. When I talk of physical image, I talk in terms of your style. Not your fashion. Fashion is different. Fashion changes every 5 years, 10 years. I remember there was a time wearing your shirt inside out and your pants upside down was the thing to do. If you did not wear it, you were not cool. Today is ripped jeans. Okay? You get the pair of jeans that look like they come from the dustbin or somewhere. You rip them up, make them look dirty. $50, $80. They are there, I will come and fish. When I talk about style, I am sure style is the way you communicate your individuality to the world. Style is the way you communicate your uniqueness to the world. What voicemail do you have on your phone? Yo, 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 dog, do your thing. How do you sign your name at the end of an email? What kind of font and color of font do you use on your email? What is your email address? Sexy, horny, sexy, rabbit, foxy, al-Qaeda@hotmail.com. When you send out your resume, what kind of paper do you use to send out your resume? How do you handcraft a written letter? How do you handcraft a written letter after a job interview or a meeting, telling the person, thank you? Hello. Smile. It's for you.
Thank you.
the great masters of art, Caravaggio, Monet, Picasso, Van Gogh, great guys who did like murals, paintings. You go to the Sistine Chapel in Rome, you look down, you see Michelangelo's work, and you're like, ah. Unique pieces of art sell for 20, 50 million in New York, in the auction houses. I read this on the paper, I'm like, really? Somebody paid 50 million for art? Wow, I could do a lot of things with 50 million. They pay 15, 20 million. You are so unique. Nobody has the same eye color as you. Nobody has the same hair texture as you. Nobody thinks the way you think. No one has the same fingerprint you do. You are so unique that you cannot be quantified in monetary terms. Nobody can put an amount of money on your uniqueness. Style enables you to communicate that uniqueness. So what have we said today? We talked about spin. We talked about connecting. We talked about showing up. We talked about reading. We talked on charisma. And finally, image control. So I passed out some cards. If you have a question, you can write it on the card. I can collect them. They went around with the back. You did not get one? No. You can stand up, ask a question. If I cannot answer it, I will get your email. Find somebody who knows it or get that correct information for you. So let's take 5 minutes. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. Sure, go ahead.
You talked about how your father was very inspirational in your life. Who
Yes.
else?
How long do you have?
The ones that made, a significant difference.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, none of my brothers and sisters, because I was the smallest, so they always try to, so I always try to fight them. So my parents, my father and my mother. I have extended family, a lot of my uncles, because they are very entrepreneurial. They played a great role in my life. Then I also adopt dead mentors, people who are dead. I go and read their biographies, autobiographies, what they did, how they thought. Business leaders. I may not be able to meet them, but I can read about what they did, how they thought, how they able to change situations. Then Professor Lal Chog is here. He's a finance professor. I still keep in touch with him. He's a great mentor. Professor Ifi Malu, while I was here, she's a business communication major. She's a great mentor. She once said, by your 3rd year, if you do not have internship in your field of study, you have a problem. Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
So you said that reading is very important, and I love to read. I just wanted to know if you had any favorite books that either helped you or influenced the way that you do business or the way that you live your life in general.
That's a great question. Let me think, because it's a long list. I get your email. I send you a long list of books. But let me tell you 3.
Okay.
I will say it in terms of different fields. Like when it comes to investing, my greatest book ever written is Securities Analysis. It's a big book, very tough material. Sometimes I read a chapter and I say, what's that? I'm still reading it up till today. Securities Analysis by Graham Dodd. Second book, I read a lot of books on thinking, on how to develop your own independent thinking. A book on influence by Cialdini. That's a good book if you are into sales or marketing. It shows you the techniques of how to influence people. All that free stuff you get. There's a reason why somebody is giving you something free. When you give somebody something free, because of the way human nature is designed, you are obligated to do something good for that person. It's a great book, easy read. Easy read. And the third book will be on philosophy. The Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. That's a classic. There are many books, many I like to read. Anyone have any books for me to read? What about you?
What do I like to read?
Yes.
What am I reading right now? Have you ever read Born to Run?
Born to Run, fiction?
No, it's nonfiction.
Non-fiction?
It's actually about an ultra runner, so people who run marathons like 150 miles.
Yes.
And it's basically talking about the mindset that they have to get into,
Get
and
into,
how
yes.
developing those skills helps them overcome adversity in their lives.
Ah,
And I'm not a runner, but it's just such an interesting book.
Yes, that's a good book. I will take a mental note of that. Anyone have any other book for me I can read? No readers? Sure.
It's called Predictably Irrational.
Predictable Irration.
Predictably Irrational.
Yes.
And it has to do with a lot of things, but number one, it has to do with coming to understand how perceptions work and understanding that in certain scenarios you can sort of direct the way things are going to be perceived, and understanding that unconsciously we're always taking notes and we're always making observations. It's really interesting.
Okay, take note of that. Thank you. Thank you, and learning from you.
I have one that you'll probably love unless you've already read it, because it talks a little bit about what you were talking about people being unique,
Mhm.
and how there's nobody like you. It's
Mhm.
called The Element by Ken Robinson.
The Element, yeah.
He had a TED Talk, and it's basically talking about how there's something about you and your skills and
Yeah.
talents that nobody else has, and if you develop those, then when you do your work, you get this passion, so that it's no longer work for you, and you're having fun, and you're able to get to places in your career that you wouldn't be able to do in any other industry.
Yes, great. What's your major, by the way?
Marketing.
Market. Oh, yes, you told me, yeah. So anyone write any questions? Yes, no? Okay, please.
What motivated you to go on to graduate school after you've been, successful in starting your own company and working for other places? What was the driver to be like, oh, okay, I want to go out to BU for finance?
I think it's just curiosity. It's not about, some people go to graduate school for ego, to get more money, to get a better job. For me, it's to satisfy curiosity, because I'm so into finance, and going to graduate school is expensive. If you want to, you feel comfortable doing it, I suggest it. For me, it was a structured way to learn, because sometimes we get lazy trying to learn on our own, trying to motivate ourselves to read. So for me, it was a structured way to get more expertise in finance. That's the way I see it. Thank you for that question. It is my prayer that everyone here gets a job they love. It is my prayer you get a job you are passionate about. It's my prayer you get a job that is unique to your talents and your personality. Let me leave you with the words of Marcus Aurelius from his book, The Meditations. Perfection of character is this: to live each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, without apathy, without pretense. With this, I conclude.